welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a topic that has been highly requested by some of our subscribers, and this is wellness and health services in Australia. What is it like to go to the hairdresser in Australia? What is it like to go to the doctor here? What is it like to go to the dentist, pricing or a gym membership, etc. So if you're interested, keep watching. If you want to get a haircut, you go to the hairdresser. Hairdresser is basically the person who cuts your hair. The hair salon is the place where you go to get a haircut. If you guys want to go to the hairdresser, this is called a barber's shop. And to be honest, I found that the experience of going to the hairdresser in Australia is pretty similar to my country, and I think it's pretty much universal. The only thing that's very different is the price. Going to the hairdresser here is very expensive. You can expect to pay between $30 and $100 plus. We're talking here about Australian dollars. The longer the hair, the more expensive the experience becomes. And of course, also the pricing will be determined by how experienced your stylist is. So the more experience they have, the higher the price will be. And another little thing that I found different is that, and this is really nice, is the fact that usually, not in all hairdressers, but usually when you go to the hairdresser, they bring you a coffee or a glass of wine or a beer. So that's pretty cool. Okay, now some of you have been asking about hairdresser terminologies. And I'm going to be very brief here because I'm not an expert, I'm not a hairdresser, so I'm not really familiar with all the technical terms. So if you have split ends, that is damaged hair, basically you can ask for a trim. If you don't want very short hair, you just want a basic haircut, you say, hey, I'd like to have a trim to make my hair look healthier. You can also get a dry trim, and I don't know why is this, but some hairdressers won't wash your hair. First they're going to trim it when it's dry. This is a dry trim, and then they're going to wash it. Layers, usually you can get layers if you want a bit more movement in your hair or reduce weight. So this means that they're going to cut your hair in different lengths. This is what a layered haircut looks like. Fringe, bangs, it's basically when you have a fringe, like a little curtain here. Thinning, so for example, I have a lot of hair, thick hair. When I go to the hairdresser, I usually say, oh, can you thin it out? That is, thinning is reducing the amount of volume and weight, and this is basically micro layering your hair in order to reduce its volume. Then you can also ask for a bob haircut, and this is basically when you have like a toppy haircut and shorter hair. A ponytail, this is a ponytail. A braid, a bun, usually the style that I use to go to the gym. Another term, blow dry. So if you want to blow dry, this is basically using a hair dryer to dry your hair. And you have a keratin treatment, and I usually have a keratin treatment to repair my hair, to make it less frizzy. And then a straightened hair, this is like make it flatter. Having a perm is like basically curls. Hair curler, basically a device to make your hair very wavy or curlier. Parting your hair, when you go to the hairdresser, they're going to ask you, where do you usually part your hair? And this is basically, it says like on the center or like to the side. If you want to get your hair dyed or colored, for example, you want highlights, you can ask to have your hair dyed. Balayage is another term, and this is usually when you want to lighten your hair and dye it, but instead of using foils, they paint directly on the hair. Okay, now if you're a guy, as I said, you go to a barber's shop, and the price is usually between $30 and $60 for a haircut, and usually they use the razor cut for that, and you have different grades. Probably you know what I'm talking about. And my best advice, really, and this is what I usually do, I just bring a photo to the hairdresser and show them the hairstyle that I want, and I say, hey, I want something like this short, and they'll tell you, they'll be honest, and they say, look, you have very thick hair, maybe this won't work, or maybe yes, let's go for it. So just take a photo and bring it to them, and it will be fine. If you want to have your nails done, usually you go to a beauty salon. This is called a manicure. If they do your toes, this is called a pedicure. If you want to get a facial, usually this is done by a cosmetologist. And if you have any specific requirements, for example, you have oily skin or dry skin, just talk to the cosmetologist and they'll help you and they'll tell you what treatment might be best for you. In terms of costs, having your nails done here in Australia can cost from $10 to $60 $60 depending on the place. If you're not sure on what kind of nail polish you want, again, they'll help you out according to your preferences. In terms of hair removal, of course, you can go to a beauty salon for waxing services, but I highly recommend laser hair removal. It's super affordable here in Australia, and you can expect to pay between $10 and $100 depending on package that you get. Usually you have different sessions and these are priced per package. For gym memberships, you can expect to pay between $25 and $60 per week, but of course this depends on the gym and the amenities and services you want. For example, if you want to go to a gym that has a pool, of course the price will be a bit higher. If you want a personal trainer or access to specific sessions, you might have to pay a bit higher. Yoga and Pilates, of course there are many yoga and Pilates studios, and usually you pay per session or a package of different sessions. You can expect to pay around $40 per session, but if you buy a package you may pay, I don't know, $100 for 5 sessions. So this depends on the yoga studio. Again, I encourage you to do a bit of research and have a look. If you want to go to the dentist, which you should go at least once a year, dentists are pretty expensive here in Australia. A consultation is around $200 and you can expect to have in your first consultation x-rays and a general checkup and a cleaning. And if you have private health insurance, you might be able to add dentist services as an extra, but talk to your provider because sometimes this can be very expensive as well, and it depends on how often you use it. Also, if you have braces, orthodontics, if you can, do it in your country and then come here and follow it up. If you're unable to do it in your country, expect to pay around 11K for orthodontic treatment. It's very, very expensive, but it's the way it is, I guess. If you want to access mental health support, going to a psychologist, here the process is as follows. You go to a GP, the GP has to assess you and then they're going to do a referral. This means that they are going to refer you to a specific psychologist. Sometimes you have to do your own research on the type of psychologist that you want, or your GP will help you with that. If you don't know what a GP is, this is a general practitioner. Basically, this is the general doctor. He's not a specific specialist. For example, you have a tummy ache, you go to the GP and they'll give you something. They'll prescribe something for you. If that doesn't go away, if it gets more serious, then you go back to the GP and they're going to refer you to a specific specialist. And for a GP consultation, as I explained on one of my other videos, you can expect to pay around $40 or $80, and sometimes it's bulk billing. If you have Medicare or student health insurance cover, you might be able to access these services for free. I'm saying free because in reality, Medicare or your health insurance provider are covering that fee. Okay, so if you want more tips on cheaper services here in Australia, top tips for living cheap or cost of living, check out these videos here and here. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. As always, it really helps the YouTube algorithm and to spread these videos and help other people migrating to Australia. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye.